Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Module 1, Week 1 in the SNHU 107 Learning Community. I am so excited to welcome you to your first official week of SNHU 107. So let's do this and dive right in, folks. First and foremost, your experience here at Southern New Hampshire University is important to us. It is our policy and practice to create inclusive and accessible learning environment. If there are aspects of instruction or course design that present barriers to accessibility, please notify the Online Accessibility Center, the OAC, as soon as possible at 866-305-9430. You can also always email the Online Accessibility Center team at oac@snhu.edu or visit the Online Accessibility Center website. Folks, what this means is that the university wants you to get content in a way that works best for you. This could be content that is covered in webinars like this. This could be in your classroom. This could be different university-related events and activities. So if you have questions about this, want to know more, please reach out to our wonderful OAC team. A couple of housekeeping reminders, folks, just so you guys know, these SNHU 107 Learning Community webinars are for you. These are an extra support system, a university resource outside of your actual classroom environment. Most of the webinars this term will be pre-recorded or on demand, so you can always access them at a time that is convenient for you and your schedule. And if you look down in the lower right-hand corner, you will see a link to the webinar recordings and also a link to these super helpful focus videos that are a lot shorter and just go over basic assignments from week to week, okay? So with these webinars, most of them, like I said, will be on demand. You can find them every single Monday by going to this YouTube link to find the webinar recordings. And then we do have a live session, but please make sure to check the schedule of events, and your faculty will also post reminders in your announcements, and you'll get a reminder email when there's different sessions coming up. The learning community is a place outside your classroom, but it's also an academic space, so always be mindful of your conduct. Remember that these webinars are not mandatory. They are not graded. There's no extra credit points, but every single week, the webinars and the focus videos will walk you through the specific content and assignments that you have in your SNHU 107 class, and you'll have a little bit of fun. Sometimes you just need somebody to walk you through what is happening from week to week and where to click and how to find things. So just know these webinars are always here. They are left up all term long, so you can always go back if you need to. So in case you missed our very first pre-term webinar, the top 10 tips for success, I am Melanie Schopp. I am an SNHU 107 adjunct faculty, which means that I teach a section of SNHU 107 and will probably have about 30 to 35 of you in my classroom. But I do not have all of you. So if you're not sure who your faculty is, you want to log into your SNHU Brightspace classroom, that learn.snhu.edu, go to your classroom and click on announcements, and then you'll see your My Instructor information. That'll tell you a little bit about your instructor and where to find them. But I do teach a class of SNHU 107, but I also am an academic partner, which means that I work with your faculty and other departments at the university in the first year experience program to make your experience the best. Some fun facts about me: I love the water. It could be a beach, a pool, a river, a lake. I don't care. I'm kind of a mermaid, I think. And I also enjoy cycling. I have a road bike, and I also love a Peloton, the bike that goes nowhere, but I still love it. I love to read. I love coffee, and I love spending time with loved ones. The biggest thing I want you to know about me is that I am a resource for you. The SNHU 107 Learning Community is a university resource that is here for you and your success. As a reminder, that community is located in SNHU Connect. You will need a Pulse login, which is your university credentials. And if you don't have that yet, it can take about a week to 10 days to get created after you register for classes. So if you get stuck or have questions, you can always reach out to your advisor, but know that you will have access. It just takes a little bit of time after you first register for your classes. The SNHU 107 Learning Community, as a reminder, is a space outside your classroom where you can build peer connections. So it's students that are taking SNHU 107 just like you this term, but there's also students who have taken it before. which can give some helpful advice. If you pop into that community now and you have access, you'll see people introducing themselves, telling them a little bit about themselves, their major, where they're from. Everybody kind of has a lot of the same emotions, a lot of emotions. You're excited, you're happy, you're nervous, you're scared, a little bit of everything. And that is why we created these webinars. We have weekly webinars. There is a few that'll be live, but most of them, again, will be on demand or pre-recorded. And the webinars are going to walk you through the content from week to week. So for example, we are talking today about Module 1, Week 1. It'll talk about all the very first week assignments. We also have these focus videos that I mentioned. If you look in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see those 2 links. One of them is a focus video link. Those videos are much shorter. They're usually less than 5 minutes, and they walk you through specific pieces of content that we're covering in the classroom, or specifically how to find and how to upload an assignment. Okay, so they're shorter, but they're great to watch, especially if you're short on time. And what does all this equal? It just equals your success, because for many of you, you may have waited a long time to get here. You might have tried school before, maybe, and it didn't work out for whatever reason, or maybe you put other people through school. Maybe this is the time that you're coming back because you've always wanted a degree, or you're going to be the first person in your family to get a degree, or you want a degree in something that you want to have a degree in, something you're passionate about. Whatever it is, we're just excited that you're here. And this is your time. So the learning community and these webinars and the videos that are there for your viewing pleasure are also there for your success. So as we move through these next few minutes about what to find in week 1 and what to do for week 1, I want you guys just to remember that it's so important to always utilize your university resources. Make sure you're checking your classroom announcements every day, if not multiple times a week, because your faculty members are going to post helpful information and video links and tips and tricks for your assignments, and you want to make sure you know all the details. Also, make sure you check your university email, because that is how the university SNHU communicates with you from all the different departments, and it's really important that you're always checking that. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about how to access your class, how to get that electronic textbook connected, what we have on deck for week 1 for assignments, which is a discussion and a warm-up. I'm going to go over those. Resources for your success this week. I want to introduce you to our SNHU Financial Literacy team. And then I'll go over a quick reminder of how to find SNHU Connect and the webinar recordings. But most of all, like I said, you've waited a long time to get here. So enjoy yourself, immerse yourself in this journey, connect yourself to the resources and people here at SNHU, and let's have a little bit of fun. So first and foremost, folks, you want to access Brightspace. Brightspace is where your actual classes are. That is where you will find SNHU 107. That is that learn.snhu.edu website link. A lot of students, top tip, like to bookmark that. So when they log into their computer, it's the very first thing that pulls up, which is really nice. So you can go right into your classroom stuff. When you access Brightspace, you want to click on course menu, and it's going to pull up announcements. That's where you can find all the helpful information. Learning modules, that's your week by week for your class. So for example, we're in week 1. So what you have due for this week is everything week 1. And then the next week is week 2. That's when you'll work on the week 2 assignments. And then you'll work on week 3, and then week 4, all the way to week 8, okay? So don't log in and think, oh my gosh, I have to do all 8 weeks in 1 or 2 weeks. No. You have assignments dedicated to the first week, the second week, the third week, and so on, okay? Now, what I want to make sure that you understand, and I will log in to a classroom so you guys can see what I'm talking about and where to click. But this is kind of just a quick visual to get you thinking about, okay, my classroom where things are graded and my faculty will see things is Brightspace, that learn.snhu.edu, okay? You do have a textbook. It's an electronic textbook for SNHU 107. There was an email that went out also, but in case you missed it or can't find it, don't panic. It tells you how to access that. You can always go into your classroom under course menu and click on start here, scroll down, it'll show you more book information, or just go log into your classroom, click on online student services, and it's going to pull up all the different SNHU departments and resources available to you. One of the very first ones is the SNHU bookstore. You'll click on the bookstore, you'll click if you're an online student, or a non-campus student, which you guys are online, you'll click what term you're starting, and then you'll click what class you're taking. So SNHU 107, it's going to pull up the book, the course materials is what it's called, and you're going to checkbox it and add it to your cart just like you were checking out on Amazon. All right. Now, I know some of you are thinking, an electronic textbook, I can't do it. You can, and all of your classes are going to have electronic textbooks. However, in some cases, if the bookstore doesn't sell out of them, there is a loose leaf or paper version of the book available. I will tell you it's a little bit different than the online book. So sometimes students get confused when they can't find exactly what they're looking for because the online version is a little bit different than the paper version, and it also sells out. But I get it. If you're somebody that needs to hold the book, touch the book, feel the book, smell the book, highlight the book, it is an option, but please know that it does sell out. And I will also tell you that I have students who demanded that they needed it. They actually got both the electronic and the paper version, and they never once opened the paper one because the electronic one is really easy to utilize and you can take it with you. You can download it, you can take it with you. It's just really nice to kind of have on the go. So know that about your book, okay? Now, for your actual assignments here in week 1, you have 2 assignments this week. First is a discussion assignment, and then you have what's called a warm-up activity, which is kind of like a quiz, but it's called a warm-up. For your discussion assignment, there's 2 ways you can access it. 1, log into your classroom, click on learning modules, click on discussion, find the week you're looking for. In this case, it's week 1. The second way is to click on that course menu, discussions, and then find your weekly discussion. So there's kind of a few different spots underneath the modules in the course, and I'll show you that in a second. But for week 1, easy peasy, guys and girls. You are introducing yourself. So you're going to see a little prompt that tells you what questions you're supposed to answer from week to week. So in week 1, tell your class a little bit about you. So introduce yourself, your name, where you're from, maybe what you're majoring in, why you're majoring in that. Maybe if you have, little people at home or pets or what you're passionate about, just so your classmates can get to know you. It's really cool to see people from all over the world come together in this classroom space. The second thing you want to make sure you talk about is what you thought it meant to take ownership of your personal success before you started this class. And then you want to think about the resources that you are covering this week in week 1 on taking ownership, and how can they help you change maybe your view on ownership or support your view on ownership, and how you're going to apply ownership to your academic journey. Basically, you're introducing yourself, telling the class a little bit about you, what you thought ownership meant, or what you think it still means, and then how you're going to make sure that you are owning this classroom experience. Like, are you going to make time for your success? Are you going to use university resources, support for your success? After you read the reading this week, or you look through some of the classroom content, did it change your view on what ownership means? Those are the kinds of things you want to answer. Now, with your discussion assignment, your initial discussion post, which is where you answer the questions that are due for the week, are always due by Thursdays. So put in your calendar, in your memory bank, discussions. If I have a discussion assignment, it's always due Thursday by 11:59 p.m. Week 1, it's East Coast time, so pay attention to time zones. And then you are going to respond to at least 2 of your classmates. More than a sentence or 2, folks. You really want to ask them questions, maybe share your own experiences or resources, ideas. It should be a paragraph, not just a couple of sentences. You want to respond to at least 2 of your classmates by every Sunday. So discussions, Thursday, initial post due, Sunday, those peer responses or 2 responses to your classmates need to be done. Can you respond to more than 2 students? Of course you can. Just make sure that at least 2 of them have substantial responses put together, okay? Can you work earlier in the week? Can you do your initial discussion post on Monday? You sure can. Can you do it on Tuesday? You sure can. Can you respond to peer feedback earlier? Yes, you can. The nice thing about online classes is you're going to have due dates assigned. However, you can work ahead as it is convenient for you. I caution you though, do not work so far ahead, because you can miss out on powerful, helpful announcements and tips that your faculty might share as that week approaches. But know that you can work ahead if that works best for your schedule. A lot of students like to work earlier in the week if they can, like do their discussions Monday through Wednesday or Thursday, somewhere in there. Like their initial post and their peer responses, and then finish anything up before the weekend so they have a couple of days off. Okay, so that is the discussion. And then you have that warm up, which is like a quiz. Don't let the word quiz make you nervous, because it is literally just an assignment that you're going to answer some questions based off of looking over your syllabus, look over that chapter 1 in your electronic textbook, click through the module information, okay? Then take the quiz. You get multiple attempts. So I encourage you to review your syllabus, review chapter 1, click through the module, review that, then take the quiz. Don't just dive in and take the quiz because you get multiple chances. It's a waste of your time. You won't do well. So review those items first, then take the quiz. You can take it multiple times. Your faculty member is going to take the highest score. It will auto grade. So just know that you might see a grade right away when you take it. Whereas with your discussion assignment, you're not going to see those grades for about a week or so. Okay. So week 1, we got a discussion assignment and that warm up. All right. Now, as you're working through this week, if you get stuck or you have questions, remember, always check your course announcements. Number 1. Number 2, always make sure you're checking that university email. Number 3, if your advisor or instructor or somebody is calling you or trying to get a hold of you, please make sure you reach out to them, because your instructor and your advisor are your 2 best points of communication and support, especially in these beginning weeks. Your instructor, do not be afraid of us. We want you to do well. We want you to be successful in our classes. So please don't hesitate to send us an email. Also look and see how your instructor communicates. Email tends to be the easiest. We will respond within 24 hours. Some instructors will list their phone numbers. You can call them or maybe text message them. Some of them might even set up like a FaceTime or like a Google Hangout if you have really specific questions. Everybody's a little bit different. So double check your time zones, because just like you, we're all over the world. But just know that your instructor is the person that can actually see in your classroom. Like if you have a question like, did I submit that assignment right? Can they see it? We're the ones that can see that, okay? Not your advisor. So if you have questions about if you submitted something or how to do an assignment, please get with your instructors. If you have questions on like scheduling or other things, your advisor is wonderful. Also, if you're not sure how to get that textbook purchased and connected, your advisor is perfect for that. We also have the wonderful SNHU Help Desk. That's our technical support. They can help you if there's anything technical or something you're struggling with, or if you're not getting access to something. And we have the wonderful academic support team. Folks, the academic support team is a big umbrella of people that are there for your success. There are tutors, there is personal tutors, there's subject matter tutors, there is 24/7 quick live chat, there is so many options for you, but they have an online writing services team that if many of you are not used to writing academically, the academic support team, you can submit your written assignment. So it can be discussion assignments, it can be papers, project assignments, anything SNHU related to them. You upload it and they give you feedback, usually within 24 to 48 hours, on common grammar mistakes, making sure your content makes the criteria of the assignment. So if you're nervous about being out of school for a while or not sure how to write academically, this is a great university resource to use right off the bat. Also, for SNHU 107, you will have several assignments through the term that are on a template, and it's a Microsoft Word-based template. This means that you need to have that Microsoft Word or something compatible so that you are able to use these templates, open them, fill them out, and submit them to be graded to your faculty. As an SNHU student, you do get Office 365 for free, which comes with Word, PowerPoint, Excel, a whole host of things for your success. And I'll show you guys where you can find that so you can get that downloaded for your success. Now, before I go into the classroom environment, just to show you kind of where to click and where to find things, I wanted to point out another one of our awesome SNHU resources, which is the SNHU Financial Literacy team. So this financial literacy team, kind of, you can look at them as like a personal financial person for you. They're not financial aid. This is nothing financial aid. This is more things like budgeting, saving. Maybe you're trying to improve your credit score, or maybe you have some goals like you want to buy a car or you want to buy an apartment or a house. This team has a wonderful platform called iGrad, which teaches you all about savings and budgeting and your own financial literacy. Plus, they are wonderful to chat with on the phone. They do virtual and phone appointments. They do classroom presentations and webinars, but they work with you a lot to learn about your own personal finance, but also, college is expensive. So they can give you ideas of how to make sure that you're budgeting appropriately so you can stay on track to help you graduate. So there's a video that your faculty will share with you, and I will also post it in our SNHU 107 learning community for you to watch on how to find them and how to get a hold of them. But their information is also right here. They are a wonderful team, and I encourage you to get to know them because it really just makes sense for you and your success. So hold on tight really quick. I am actually going to share my screen, and I'm going to walk you through where to find everything for your very first week. So this is an example classroom. So please note that you'll see some things that are specific to me. There might be some different dates, so don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to the navigation part. So like I mentioned, you can find, it's that learn.snhu.edu is how to get into Brightspace. When you get into Brightspace, there's these little tiles, find your class. So this is my class, and it's going to pull up your classroom environment. You should see right away who your instructor is and either a photo of them or something that they enjoy, plus their email address is right there real quick, okay? You can also, there's a quick link to Office 365. But underneath course menu, if you click on announcements, it is going to pull up any announcements that are listed for your class. So you will notice that this is actually my classroom. If you scroll down in your classroom, you'll see my instructor. So this is my announcement for my students, but you'll see how to get a hold of them via email, via phone, office hours, and a little bit about them. Okay, your faculty member will have this posted too. But also notice that there'll be other helpful things. Like I posted the webinar schedule, and then I have some things about the upcoming weeks I wanted to make sure that they knew. So that's the announcement section. But if you click underneath learning modules, remember I said that there is a start here. If you click on start here, you'll find your SNHU 107 class syllabus. This is important. This is like the policies and rules of your classroom and what is due. But as you scroll down, you'll notice this required materials. It tells you the book that you need to have for this classroom, a direct link to the online bookstore. Here it is again, and it tells you how to get everything ordered, plus how you can navigate the Vital Source bookshelf, which is where you can download everything too. Okay, so this is a really helpful space. The other thing underneath course menu learning modules is you will see Module 1 is for week 1, Module 2 is week 2, Module 3 is week 3, and so on, all the way to week 8, right? So if you click on Module 1, it is going to bring up everything for Module 1. I like to tell students, click the blue, it gets you to where you want to go. So let's click right on the very beginning of Module 1. And it is going, again, click the blue, gets you where you want to go. It's going to go over what you're going to learn here. So make sure you scroll and read everything. And when you're all the way down, arrow over, and it's going to go through everything for this week. So again, some helpful videos. Again, click the blue, gets you where you want to go. Another reminder about your textbook. Here's how to find everything for my SNHU. Just really helpful things in here. A quick video on how to navigate your discussion board, and so much information is in here, okay? As you click through the content, it will directly, remember I said there's a couple ways you could get to the discussion assignment. It'll bring you to the discussion assignment. So like I said, for your very first week, remember it's going to give you a little overview of what you're doing. Here's what you want to cover in your initial post. Remember, introduce yourself, a little bit about you, what you thought it meant to take ownership, and then using this week's resources, what changed about ownership or what support could you use. And then these are just some examples or ideas of things to think about when you respond to your classmates. You don't have to do it this way, but just remember to write more than a sentence or two. That is the biggest thing, okay? So that is that very first discussion assignment. But I wanted to show you, because many of you might be like, well, how do I actually start a discussion assignment? We'll click on start a new thread, enter the subject. So week 1, Melanie, hello, or whatever you want to say. And then you're going to type right here in the text box. If you click this subscribe to thread, it'll send you an email if somebody comments on your post. A couple other things to point out is you can change your text and all that kind of fun stuff up here, and then you would click post. Once you do that, it's going to look like this. So for example, I posted in this week's discussion area a little bit of help for week 1. So if this, for example, was a classmate's, you would just click the blue, gets you to where you want to go, and you would see what this person had posted. So you could review that, and you click on reply to thread, and you could respond to that, okay? Remember, you want to respond to at least a minimum of 2 of your classmates. Your faculty will be going through and responding through the weeks too. I always encourage students to reply back to them if they can, but please know you always want to respond to 2 classmates, all right? So that's a quick, easy way on how to get to the discussion. Another way, of course, is to go course menu and click right on discussion. And when you do that, you're going to see a general questions area. This is for anybody, for any general questions that are not associated to a specific week or a specific assignment. But please know in this general questions area, everybody can see what you put in there. Because sometimes students might have a question about a grade or an assignment. Don't put that there. Email your instructor because everybody can see these. But as you scroll down, you'll see all the different weeks. So here again is week 1. Keep going, you'll have week 2 and so on. Click the blue, gets you to where you want to go, remember? And you'll see that same information, start a new thread, okay? So that is the discussion area. I'm going to go back underneath module 1. And this is that warm up, okay? So when you click on the warm up, it'll go a little bit an overview of what you're going to be covering. And you guys will see a start quiz. I don't have that option because I'm a faculty member, but you'll see a start quiz to begin attempt 1. You'll see questions you have to answer, and you just like check the boxes or fill in the blanks. And then you'll click submit when you're done. Again, you get multiple attempts and it will auto grade. You can always find your grades by going to this grades section and then looking over every assignment that you have. Those are the big assignments for week 1, where to click, how to find them. But I also want to show you, if you click on online student services, remember it pulls up all the different departments at the university. So here is quick access to the help desk, the bookstore, academic advising, academic support. If you keep scrolling down, there's other helpful departments to click through, like student financial services, the library. Here is that Office 365 and other software link. If you click on this, it'll give you step-by-steps on how to get that Office 365 downloaded and get started. If you get stuck, reach out to the university help desk, okay? Over here is that SNHU Connect, which takes you into the different learning communities, and you can find the SNHU 107 learning community. Plus, here's that Online Accessibility Center website that I talked about in the very beginning of the webinar. The other thing I wanted to point out is if you click on this course menu at the top, you can also direct link to academic support right away. And when you click on academic support, it might take just a minute to load. You will see at the top all the different ways to work with them. So they have drop-in tutoring, they have scheduled, this is academic coaching and peer tutoring. Written feedback, this is where you actually want to click and you'll fill out and upload your assignment or whatever it might be to have for them to give you feedback on the writing mechanics and just general overview of how you're doing on the assignment from a writing perspective, okay? So just remember that. I wanted to make sure I showed that to you guys. The last thing I wanted to show you is if you go underneath learning modules and scroll down, if you click on learning community, it'll take you directly into, and click the blue, gets ready to go learning community. It'll take you directly into that SNHU 107 learning community. Okay. So folks, I'm going to stop sharing this. Give me just a sec. As a reminder, for week 1, you guys have the discussion assignment. So initial post and a minimum of 2 peer responses. And then you have that warm-up quiz. You get multiple attempts. This webinar, we talked about how to find them, where to click, what to do. And then as a reminder, through the term, if you need to access webinar recordings or those helpful focus videos, or when there's a live session, these are all of the links to get there. Plus they're down here in the lower right-hand corner. I also gave you a quick overview of how to find that learning community. And just if you get into SNHU Connect a different way, just type in SNHU 107 and it'll pull up the SNHU 107 learning community. Okay, so we covered a lot of stuff today, which is why it's important for you to know that you can go back and watch this webinar as many times as you need to and pause me where you need to pause me. But I want you guys to know, as we get ready to end today and head into week 1, that this is your journey. Like I said earlier, many of you guys have waited a long time for this. Maybe you've put other people through school, but this is your time. Okay, no matter what it is, no matter what's happened before, this is your time. And I love this quote by Art Williams. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. So make sure that you are making that SNHU homework time. putting it in your calendar, doing your best to stick to it, because your success is loading. If you get stuck, if you have questions, reach out to your SNHU 107 or whoever you have for faculty this term. Reach out to your advisor. Use those university resources. Check your course announcements. Check your university email. And if you get stuck, you can always leave a note in the SNHU 107 LC. I'm so excited for you guys. It's official, folks. Welcome to week 1 and welcome to the SNHU family. You got this. Have a wonderful week 1.